Hey guys, welcome to this yoga class. Welcome to yoga for tight hips. I think that was one of the biggest requests I got so far on what practice you guys want to do out there. And it's a frustrating area of the body when we feel tight, and especially if we are sitting along or even standing, walking, we usually do the same movement with the hips, with the psoas, so the muscles don't really get used in a way where we feel that nice openness, that relief. And yeah, you can feel, again, quite a lot of stuff can get stuck here, emotions as well, when we talk about it in a holistic way. So make sure we get that area moving. We work on the lower part of the body today, so not too much for the upper body, but making sure the hips will feel nice and open. Thank you for tuning in. To begin the class today, we're going to come to lie down on our mat. As you come to lie down, bring the soles of your feet together, open your knees out wide for Supta Baddha Konasana, also called lying butterfly. Take your palms onto the inner thighs or onto the area of your hip flexors, so you can use a bit of downward pressure and the weight of your arms, your hands, to already here open the inner thighs and therefore the hips. Drop your head fully down towards the ground. Allow your shoulders to soften and just take a moment to close your eyes. And even though we work on the physical aspect of opening the hips, we still want to remember that we are moving through a yoga practice. So the breath is our number one thing that we want to focus on. Because if we breathe deeper, we will send more oxygen into the body. The muscles will benefit so much from that already, and things will become much easier. So let's tune into the breath for a moment to begin with. Lengthen your arms as far away from the body, and that's where you will have them on your thighs, your arms. So wherever they are naturally reaching. Take an in-breath and imagine you're breathing all the way down into the area of your hips. You breathe in, you lightly push your legs up toward your hands, create a bit of resistance. And with your exhale, allow your palms to just very lightly open the knees away from one another. Very nice. Move your palms one hand width further down. Inhale, lightly push your knees in towards one another, create that resistance. And on the exhale, allow the hips to open. We're just warming up, so don't take it too crazy just yet. Then move your hands further down towards the area of your hip flexors, the inner thighs. One more round. Inhale, lightly move your knees in towards one another. And exhale, allow your knees to relax and release down. Very nice. From here, start to open your eyes, bring your hands towards either side of your legs, guide them back together. And then bring your left knee, your right knee into your chest. Just squeeze your knees, your legs up toward you for a moment. Breathe in, feel your belly expanding toward your thighs. With your exhale, relax your shoulders. Make sure your low back is fully down on the mat here. So really release the sacrum to the earth. And then take your left hand onto the left knee, right palm onto the right knee. Bring your knees apart from one another. And then start to create circles. Now we start to bring more fluidity into the hips by actively moving into that area. And as you're moving the knees into one direction, first of all, keep your feet relaxed. And you can also warm the upper body up slightly here by rotating the shoulders, the elbows. On every inhale, move your knees away from the body. On the exhale, bring them in toward you. So again, sometimes speed is not always the way to go. Sometimes we need to slow things down a little bit and the body can benefit more. Again, depends on what you're working on. Exhale, knee toward your body and then change direction. Move your knees away and then back together. And the palms, they don't have to grip onto the legs here. You can keep them very light. The main movement comes from the hips. And just check in for a moment if one side of your hips feels a bit more tight than the other. Maybe it's quite even, quite balanced for you, so you can choose any side in a moment. And otherwise, whichever side you feel is more tight, you're keeping that knee up and you drop the opposite foot down. Allow that leg to again open into that butterfly shape. So you're on the outer edge of your foot, and then create a few more circles with that knee. So for me, it's the right side. See if you can draw a bit bigger circles here. It's also okay if your body is kind of wobbling, moving side to side. Really with the intention of opening up that side of the body that feels even tighter. Change direction, take a few more cycles, a few more circles the opposite way around. Very, very nice. And then bring both of your knees back in towards your chest for happy baby. Lift the soles of your feet up towards the ceiling. Open your knees. Heels are in line with the knees. And then grab the back of your thighs, your hamstrings. And again, you want to bring the chin down towards your chest. So you're looking towards the front of your mat. Knees are opening and the sacrum is gently pressing down towards the earth. So your whole body from the shoulders to your low back is connected to the floor. This might be enough already. Maybe you feel your knees don't even open much because the hips have a lot of things, hold a lot of things. If you feel like you want to go one stage further, take your hands to the inside of your legs, grab the outer edges of your feet, and make sure if you do so that your shoulders are not creeping up, so you can relax them back down. If you do that with your hands on the feet, you can use your elbows to lightly push the legs open, move them out from one another. And always notice which intensity feels nice for the body and where or when you get to a point where it just feels like a bit too much. We want to challenge the body, but we don't want to add any extra tightness. Take one more inhale, one more exhale here. Beautiful work. And then slowly guide your knees back together. Take your hands to the back of your thighs, your hamstrings. Rock forwards and back a few times, the whole length of your spine. Take one more full cycle here. And then we're going to rock forward and up into a seat, a cross-legged seat. And then take your hands forward and find your way into tabletop. And I just realized I'm way too much too far away from the mat. So just make sure you find a comfortable ground underneath you. From here, bring your big toes together and your knees wide apart. Start to sink your hips back for child's pose. Come onto your fingertips and stretch your hands away from the body. Gently lower the forehead to the ground. Maybe you're lifted here, that doesn't matter at all. And then start to rock the hips side to side. From here, lift your forehead off the ground again. Walk your hands to the left knee. Stretch your arms far away from the body, especially the right hand. Left hand can be slightly bent, and then allow the body to gently drop back down. Come back and up. Walk your hands back through to center. Lengthen the left arm away. Allow your upper body to soften down. Forehead in line with your upper arm. Relax the shoulders away from your ears. One more breath here. And then take it back to center. Lift yourselves back into your tabletop. Knees come back together and then step your left foot all the way forward to the top of your mat. Open your left foot to the outside edge of your mat so both of your hands can come to the inside of your foot. Curl your right toes under, lift the right knee and move your knee as far back as you possibly can here. Untuck your toe. Take your left hand onto the left knee and then very slowly, very gently start to open the knee out to start opening through the hip. You can come onto your right fingertips, you can stay down on your hand, lengthen your chest forward and then start to spiral your gaze and your heart up towards the ceiling. Again, imagine breathing down into the area of your hips, so directing your breath deep down into your body. Very nice. Take one more full breath here. And then slowly release. Come back into your lizard lunge. Lower yourselves forward and down. You can come onto your forearms. You can stay on your fingertips. And then actively move your left knee forward. So the hip is automatically shifting forward. And try to lengthen your right toes towards the back of your mat. A few rounds here, just softening the muscles around the hips. Again, if you're up here, that's great. You can also stay lifted. If you feel the floor is a bit too far away, just breathe into your hips. Keep your heart, your upper body nice and lifted. Beautiful work. And then bring your hands to the inside of your left foot. Lift your right knee. And then for a moment, lift yourselves all the way up into a high lunge. Breathe in, reach your arms forward and up. We create a bit of strength, so we don't just want to work into flexibility of the body. Reach your thumbs towards the back of your mat. Bend your right knee, and then for 3 pulses, bring your right knee down to the floor. Inhale, and exhale to straighten. Actually, we breathe in here for inhale, and exhale all the way down. One more round, breathe in. And breathe out. With your next inhale, lift the body. Slowly start to pivot on your back foot or ground your back foot down. And then you're going to walk your whole body to the opposite side of your mat. So your right toes are pointing forward for this lizard lunge version. Walk your right foot to the outside of your mat. Lift the left knee. Bring it as far back as you comfortably can. Left hand stays underneath the shoulder. Have a look that your right knee is roughly over the right heel. Right palm comes onto the front knee, and then start to open your knee out to the side. And as you lift the body away from that leg, really try to create length again in your spine. So notice if you're compressing, if you're rounding, open that side of the body, the right side. Keep your shoulders relaxed and away from the ears. Every exhale, see if you can really release something in your hips. So more of the idea of softening into the body. Beautiful work. And then bring yourselves back through to center. Come onto your right foot. You can either lower down onto your forearms or you can crawl your hands forward. Wherever you get to, take a moment to soften into your hips. Again, the intention is of rotating the right side of your hip forward, or back rather, the left side of your hip forward. One more full cycle of breath. Very nice. And then lift yourselves back and up, curl your left toes under, bring your right foot slightly further in so the feet are hip width apart. And then for your high lunge, crescent lunge, bring your upper body off the ground. Thumbs are reaching back. Back knees slightly bent so you're high up on the ball of your back foot. Inhale and exhale to pulse the leg a few times. Breathe in, lift up. Breathe out. Let's create strength in the thighs, the legs. One more. Inhale, full breath here. And exhale to release. Slowly release your knee down to the mat. Bring your hands to the inside and swing the right leg back to meet the left. For a child's pose, again, bring your knees apart, big toes together. This time, as you separate the knees, take your hands to your heels. And let's just take a moment to soften the body before we continue with our last few postures for this practice. Relax your shoulders, relax your focus for a moment. So you're just letting go of anything. Beautiful work. And then lift your forehead off the ground. And then we're going to come up to standing. We begin, so wherever you are on the mat, step your left foot forward and your right leg back for Virabhadrasana Warrior 2. The front heel is in line with the middle of your back foot. Bend into your front knee for Warrior 2. Take your hands onto your hips. With your inhalation, lift yourselves out of your front leg. Keep a micro bend, and on the exhale, soften forward and down. 2 more. Inhale, lift and lengthen, and exhale. 1 more round. Inhale to pulse up, and exhale for Virabhadrasana, Warrior 2. Extend your legs and your arms up into the air. Or actually just the arms, don't extend the legs up into the air. Arms are reaching away from one another. The intention here is on opening the hips away from one another. So the right hip back, left hip forward. Breathe in here. Breathe out, strong Warrior 2 with a focus again on opening up through the hip. Very nice. And then bring your feet parallel. Let's move that onto our second side. Hands come onto the hips. Open the right foot forward. Just check in that your feet are in a good position here. So when you sink forward, you then have the knee over the heel. Back leg is straight. Inhale to lift. And exhale to sink down. Keep pressing into the outer edge of your back foot. Breathe in here. And breathe out. Warrior 2. 1 more round. Inhale. Exhale to stay in your Warrior 2. Open your arms. Bring your arms parallel to the floor. Really reach your hands away from one another. Ground into your feet even more. So feel that connection, that strength to the earth. Beautiful work. And now from here, bring your feet parallel. Release your arms down. Bring your heels in and your toes out for goddess pose. Sink your hips slow. One of my favorite postures to open the hips and also strengthen the legs at the same time. Again, hands are on either leg, and then gently start to rock the body side to side. Really listen to your knees here. So it's so important that you're only lowering as far down and you shift them as far over as feels comfortable for you. Upper body straight, crown of the head reaching up, and then sink your hips down for a moment. Tuck your tailbone under and bring your hands again toward your body. Left hand on the heart, right palm on your lower belly. Breathe in, really feel your breath reaching those 2 parts of your body, the chest, the heart, and the belly. Inhale. Exhale, keep going, you're doing amazing. 1 more breath here. And then let's extend the leg. Enjoy that shaking, enjoy that wobbling, and then bring your feet closer in towards one another. The feet are a bit further than hip width apart and the toes are still pointing out. For our yogi squat, sink your hips low. That might look like this for you. If you feel like the heels are lifted, they don't go down, no way, then keep your hands on the floor. If your heels are sinking down, bring your hands towards one another. Palms are facing each other, and then lightly push your hands in. Create that resistance, forearms in line. And at the same time as you do that, as you try to open the knees, you are hugging your knees in towards the midline. Close your eyes for a moment here. Relax your shoulders. And really go inward for a few rounds of breaths. That could be that you're just physically trying to release the hips. Maybe there is something else, some emotions that are stuck there. Something you want to release. Take 1 more full breath. Very, very nice. And then blink open your eyes and carefully release your hips down to the floor. Extend your legs away from one another. You can either have straight legs or bent legs. And then take your hands to the outside of your legs and slowly reach them toward your feet. Again, you might start up here. You can see where your palms are landing. The spine is still lengthened, so the sternum is pointing forward and your gaze is slightly forward and up as well. Flex your toes fully and then gently rock the body side to side. And feel how the stretch is changing as you're moving from one side to the other. Keep those feet flexed. And now if you feel you have a bit more space to move, you can also take your hands forward out in front, gently rock the body side to side. And then come to stillness. Wherever you are, soften your shoulders, relax your upper back, relax your neck fully. Simply breathe in and out of your body. Very, very nice. And then lift your forehead off the ground, walk your hands in toward you. Bring both of your palms onto either side of the right leg. Lift your body, try to twist and turn it so you're facing the right leg parallel. Flex the left toes more and then start to lower your body down towards that right leg. You can take your left hand to the outer edge of that leg, or you can keep both hands on the floor. Imagine bringing the upper body closer towards the right leg at the same time as you're pushing the left heel away from you. Rotate your left elbow, your left shoulder further down. Breathe in and out. And then let's take that to the other side. Come all the way over, or up and over. Hands on either side of the legs. Lightly push the mat away. Lift and lengthen through the crown of your head and then make your journey down. You can take your right hand to the outer edge of your leg and then just starting to twist the body over. Right foot is more active as we fold over to the left. One side might feel and look completely different to the other, and this is completely fine. We usually have one dominant side and one side that feels a bit more leaping behind. But again, wherever you are at, concentrate on that deep belly breath. One more inhale, one more exhale. Very, very nice. And then let's release. Come all the way back to center. Take your palms underneath your knees and then slowly help your legs to come back together. Place the soles of your feet in front of you, hands behind you, and then let's windshield wipe the knees from side to side. So let's bring some movement back into those hips, the areas again where we feel stuck. Very, very nice. And then as you come back to center, you're going to bring the feet together into Baddha Konasana now. So we've done the same on the floor. Again, this might feel and look completely different. My knees are also quite high up here. Again, depending on how you're feeling in your hips. Wrap your palms around your feet. Breathe in, open your chest, your heart towards the ceiling, and then start to lead forward with your chest and release the body down. And here we try to find that point in between, keeping the body active, but also relaxing the body into this shape. So you can lightly open the knees without pushing them down. Look toward your belly and see that rising and falling sensation. And see how slow your breath might have become as you're practicing for quite a while now. Take one more full cycle of breath here. Inhale and exhale. Very, very nice. Roll through the spine. Come back into your seat and then bring your knees together. Find a cross-legged seated posture. And if you're like me, 3 years ago, and even cross-legged feels impossible to do with your hips, you're just starting up here. You can hold your knees and then gradually doing this day by day, your knees will sink a bit further down. Place your palms gently down onto the knees. Roll your shoulders away from the ears. Close your eyes for a moment. Remind yourselves why you're practicing, why it's really worth spending that time for yourself on the mat to nourish your body, mind and soul. And I thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to hear how it went. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. From my heart to yours. Namaste.